Hi, I'm Katie Garner with Keller Williams Central Virginia, here to share with you the entire home buying process step by step, beginning to end. So if you're a first-time home buyer, this video is for you. All right, so the very first thing you're going to do is call a real estate agent like me, and you are going to set up a buyer's consultation. And I want you to know right off the bat, this is a free consultation, and hiring a real estate agent does not cost you any money out of pocket, so it's not like you're paying us hourly. We get paid as your buyer's agent at the very end of the transaction once you've gotten your keys out of the commissions from the sales of the house. So when you're sitting down with your agent for the consultation, the goal is number one, to get to know each other and make sure you're going to be a good fit. But number two, your agent should be educating you on current market conditions and expectations. So what is it going to be like when you are working with this agent? Do they have certain hours where they might not be available? And if so, what are the procedures for when you have a question? Or current market conditions could be something like right now we're in a really busy seller's market, so we have to approach things a little differently and discuss bidding wars up front and all of those things that are going to play a role in your home buying process. So make sure they're answering all your questions. While you're having this conversation, I do recommend asking your agent for a list of recommended vendors, because they have sold so many houses, they know who does a good job and who doesn't, and they can recommend to you people that their clients know, like, and trust. So this would be like a lender, your attorney, and your home inspector. Once you've picked a real estate agent, next you're going to pick a lender, and I do recommend asking your agent who they like to work with, but at the very least, try and pick someone who is local. The reason being is almost all lenders are going to be offering the same things and the same rates. However, when it comes down to it, how easy a transaction is does come down to the lender's communication and their local skills, knowledge, and relationships. A lender is going to ask you for a list of documentation that you want to get into them as soon as possible, but they are also going to pull your credit to review your profile. And I know a lot of people don't like their credit pulled, but I can't tell you how important this is. A lot of people may have something on their credit that prevents them from buying, or even not enough credit to where they can buy. So catching that early on and being proactive on building your credit and making any corrections that might need to happen before you buy is important to start early on. So even if you don't plan on buying for 6 months or a year, connect with a lender now and make sure you're set up for success in the future. So at this point, you've picked your real estate agent and you're pre-approved, so you know exactly how much you can afford. Now the fun begins and you can start looking at houses. This is pretty much self-explanatory. The biggest thing here is to make sure you're buying a home that's in good condition and priced appropriately, and that's something your agent should be able to help you out with. So let's say you found your dream home. Now you're going to submit an offer. An offer is an actual contract that you are going to present to the seller. Now chances are, if you are watching this in a busy market like ours, you are going to be competing against other buyers. So you want to make sure your first offer is your final and best offer. So you're putting your best foot forward. Now your agent can discuss how to do this with you, and they can also go over every paragraph of the contract and make sure you fully understand what you're walking into. If you want some tips on how to write a competitive offer, you can check out my other videos. Hopefully they accepted your offer, and if they did, then you are past the hard part and you are moving on to the phase where you are starting to do your due diligence. So you're doing your research on the home, you're doing your home inspections if you've opted in to have a home inspection, and hopefully everything is in good repair. Now, in certain cases, if you have a home inspection contingency and you need some repairs done on the house, sometimes you can negotiate that with the seller. We aren't seeing that as an option as often right now in this seller's market. Most times we are able to get a home inspection so we know what's going on in the house, but we're not actually able to get any repairs done. So that means we're accepting the house in as-is condition. Discuss this with your agent and see what the best option is for you. Once you're passed on the inspection, some things may get quiet for a little while, but the most important thing you do here is to make sure you are maintaining your loan eligibility. So do not pull out any new credit cards, do not drive up your credit card balances, do not co-sign for anyone, do not spend your cash. Basically, you want to put yourself in a bubble for a little while. After that, you're going to get what's called a commitment letter, and this is your letter that says you are fully approved for this home. You will also end up getting an appraisal during this time. An appraisal tells you exactly how much a home is worth. So a couple different things can happen here. Let's say you go to buy a home for $200,000, but the value only comes out at $175,000. Well, at this point, you have the option to either come up with a $25,000 difference cash. You can go back to the seller and negotiate that either They bring the sales price down to the appraised value, or maybe you meet somewhere in the middle, or you can walk out of the contract. At this point, you've done the home inspection, you've done your due diligence, you're past the appraisals, you've received your commitment letter, and you're ready to close on your house. So you'll meet at either your attorney's office or your title company's office. You'll sign some more documentation, it will record, and then you'll get your keys. Buying your first home is not as complicated as it seems from the outside, and if you have the right people working with you, it should be pretty stress-free as well. So I hope this helps you guys.